I just wanted to rebel. I didn't want to have rules. I didn't want to listen. I just wanted to do what I wanted to do.
I just didn't know who to go to, and that's where I found myself having like a group of friends who weren't really positive, and that's why I got to camp. I would say I was a very selfish kid. I didn't care about how my actions affected anyone. I didn't care about how my actions affected my mom, my dad, family, friends, nobody. I was just trying to do me, and that led me in the wrong direction. My parents tried to intervene, but they just went about it the wrong way. I felt like my parents, per se, were not the cause of why I got in trouble, but were a factor of it. I just felt like there wasn't like enough support or enough love.
I started off very good in high school and stuff. Like, I had a 3.0 as a freshman, 80 credits. I was taking physics and everything. I was doing really good for myself. But then I think moving to my dad's house in Alhambra, which is not a bad neighborhood, it was actually nicer than Los Angeles. He really just didn't give me any restrictions. That's the point where like I started breaking loose. Like I just started like wilding out because with my mom I had so many rules and she had like so many different things to like keep me in place. So when I went to my dad's house, I had no rules. The cause of me going to camp was that we took a vehicle that wasn't ours. We stole it. So after that, when we got caught, like just getting handcuffed, it was like the worst feeling ever. Like in your head, you're just like, oh man, what is my family gonna think? What's going on? Like you don't know what's going on, and you feel like you don't know what to do anymore. You're stuck, and it kind of hits you a little bit, but it really doesn't hit you until you get to camp, like I did when I got to camp. Like it really, like reality finally set in that like I'm gonna be here for a while.
While we were in camp, we were doing service learning projects. And so at that time, I was a student in the camp, and I was approached by one of my teachers. She said that you are a really outstanding student and you really pay attention to what's going on in the classroom. And and at that time, I really thought to myself, does anybody want to send a juvenile delinquent to Kenya? And so I was like, this is a really big deal. I have to go change some lives now. Going to Kenya, I would say that it opened up my eyes a lot because in the U.S. and while I was in camp, kids really do take their education for granted, always. And I saw that there were kids who were begging to go to school, who wanted to be in a classroom because they wanted a better future for themselves, not only for themselves, but also for their family. It made me want to go to my younger siblings and tell them, you have to be in school. I mean, there are kids out there who want to be in school, and you are in a position where you can go to school without having to walk several miles every day to get to school. You are in a position where you have a good classroom, you have the materials that you need. In other countries, kids don't have that. And when I got back from Kenya, I was ready just to tackle all of my courses down and say, you know what, I want to get a degree in this, and I am ready to just, I guess, conquer the world.
It made me want to go back in time and slap myself, honestly. Yeah, it really did because like instead of just like focusing on what I had to do, I would just be asleep in class, and I would if I could go in time every time I was asleep in class, I would slap myself and be like, "Hey, you gotta do it." I was like, and then remind myself every day that like some people don't have it as good as we do, and then we had to take stuff. We can't take things for granted. It teaches a lot about empathy. I think like going to Kenya, putting ourselves in their shoes, to going on the water walks with the moms, carrying the big old gallons on your head with a rope, It's like really, it's backbreaking. The women over there are like the most, the toughest people there. I think more, even more so than the men, because
Yeah.
the women are the ones that carry their families. They carry all the responsibilities of their household. They raise the children. They raise the cows. They do everything, and it's like it gives you a sense of gratitude. We has been like a big part of myself changing as a person and becoming less selfish and more like helpful in the community, because they I wouldn't have learned it by myself. Like it's not something that you're just gonna get in your head like, oh, if you help people you're gonna feel better about yourself. Like sometimes you just need like a little boost, and that's what we did for us. It gave us that little boost. Like in camp we would learn about like all the different countries and how kids would work for pennies a day and like slave all day, and it really hits your heart sometimes, like, and it makes you want to do things. It makes you want to help. It makes you want to just get up out of your seat and just go out and do something to help someone else.
And once this service learning stuff was introduced to us, the kids got quiet and really intrigued with all the work. And this was like unbelievable.
We would see like heavy gang members with all kinds of tattoos on their faces. They were like, oh man, they were like, that's messed up. Look at these kids. Like, they would feel empathy for like the kids that were just like working for pennies a day, or like slaving for hours just to like get their family through like the day. It was just like you could see it in their face, like how like they felt bad, and they felt a little bit of empathy.
It was kind of tough because everybody wanted to have those walls. Everybody wanted to be so tough. So
Kind of broke some walls down for a lot of people.
I would say that we gave me a sense of helpfulness too. Going out and wanting to give opportunities that I have.
It took us a lot, little stepping stones for us to become the people that we are today. And it was a life-changing experience that I do regret, but I don't regret the way it happened for me to come out a better person.
It was a very humbling experience, and it was also a serendipity, a blessing in disguise going to camp. Because without going to camp, I wouldn't be here right now, and I don't know where I would have been. I would have been somewhere completely different, maybe somewhere worse. And I'm glad that I'm here now.